Hey everyone, Clay the Carpenter Guida here, coming at you from maxeffortmuscle.com, and welcome to the Caveman Corner, where I'm going to answer your guys' questions that you submitted for our YouTube channel. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right in.
Hey, what's up, Clay? Our first question here is from Gut Rocker. He wants to know some healthy eating tips for people getting into their 40s.
Gut Rocker, that's a good question. I'm 34. The big 40 is right around the corner. So I have to be conscious about my metabolism slowing down. I am definitely not a nutritionist by any means, but I do know how to eat healthy. I know how to train hard and train properly. So I'm not sure what your lifestyle is like as far as a career path or what you do on your daily activities. But you definitely have to, for your food intake, you have to be more. There has to be a higher output in your activities, in your exercises. There is no magic diet anymore. All these fads, all these lose weight quick things, they're a joke. They're only backed behind working out, being active, and repeating it every day. For some people, it's one or two or three times a day. For some people, maybe one time a day because their metabolism is different. So I don't care if you eat 3 plain salads a day with maybe 1 ounce of oil and vinegar on it. If you're not working out, you're either going to stay the same weight and see the same results, or you're going to gain weight. But I have a hard time believing you're just going to lose weight by only eating salad without pairing it up with workouts. So based on your daily activity and your food intake, you're always going to be doing the weight loss roller coaster. So it also, it depends highly on what you do daily, what kind of workouts are you doing, your active lifestyle. If you do have a job where you work, 10, 12 hours a day, it's hard to get to the gym, then maybe when you get home, you have to go for a walk. You have to go for a quick jog around the block, run a few miles, but you have to stay active. You can't just diet. At least for me, I can't get away with just eating healthy foods. I have to work out. That's what I do for my profession, and that's how I lose weight. So it's a great question.
Our next question here is from David Rose. David wants to know what are some good cardio tips you have, Clay? And he also wants to know what are some good cardio workouts for people struggling with spinal injuries.
So David, I don't have all day to give you all of my cardio tips because I want you guys to tune in, and I'll give cardio tips weekly as you guys ask. So I'll definitely give you a couple. First one is kettlebells. Since I've been a professional mixed martial artist, I've been doing kettlebells now since I've been in the UFC, and I've noticed a huge difference in my explosion, in my punching power, lifting, and my ground and pound. My core strength it's definitely, I've noticed a huge difference in that. So there's so many different workouts you can do with kettlebells, whether it be just swings, snatches, farmer carries. I realize you said you have a spinal injury, so probably Turkish get-ups and snatches are not going to be the best thing for you. So you may have to look online, find different kettlebell workouts, and the RKC is the Russian kettlebell club, and these guys, they're coming up with different workouts every single day to go with people that have had past injuries. So I know you can find some good ones on there, but definitely the farmer carries would be good. Upright rows, swings definitely be good for explosion. And the second part of your question has to do with people with back injuries, spinal injuries. Hot yoga has been a great cardio and conditioning avenue for me as well, because you're in anywhere from a 90 to 105 degree room. You're sweating, you're drinking water, so you're staying hydrated, but it's also cardio. There's core classes, there's sculpt classes in some of these yoga facilities. So that's definitely, that will be less impact on your spine. I know people that are not athletic at all that live in these yoga rooms, and they're just great yoga students. They can bend over and put their hands underneath their feet. Whereas, some athletes like myself, I'm flexible, but I have different flexibility, for jiu-jitsu, for wrestling, things like that. So hot yoga has definitely been great for me. It's kind of an escape. It's a great non-impact workout in between my hard wrestling and MMA training. So that may be good for you. It's definitely great recovery for the spine. A lot of these yoga students I've been around, they've been in bad car wrecks. They've had reconstructive knee, shoulder, elbow surgeries, you name it. They've had spinal injuries, neck, lower back injuries. And they say the only therapy that works for them out of all the physical therapy, of all the thousands and thousands of dollars they spent on therapy and in personal training, they said hot yoga has been the number one thing for them. So I hope that works for you, man.
Hey, our next question here comes from the man himself, Corey Gregory. Corey wants to know, how do you get your mind right for long distance?
So I imagine our boy Corey Gregory is talking about long distance running. That's one thing that over time I've just started to enjoy it. Back when I was a kid and I played football and I was wrestling and our coach told us, go do 30 laps. No one wants to hear that. I used to hate to have to run distance. I used to hate to run, a lot of miles because I had a different mindset back then. I always had to lose weight for wrestling, or we were getting punished in football practice, so our coaches would tell us, take 12 laps, So now, ever since I got out of college wrestling and I started doing mixed martial arts and more of what I enjoyed on my terms, I really, really look forward to long distance running. And I'm not running marathons. I'm not running 10 miles, but I'll pick up and I'll go anywhere from a 3 to a 7 mile run. And, maybe I'll start slower. Maybe I'll just start, with almost a full sprint. And to me, it feels good because I'm not getting yelled at by a coach. I'm doing it on my terms, and I have a more positive mindset about it. Back then, like I said, I was always doing it because I had to lose 5 or 10 pounds for a wrestling match. We were being punished by our football coach or our wrestling coach. So now I just have a cleaner, more clear thought process on why I run. I strap the headphones on. I turn on maybe some Sublime or the Beatles or Fish or whatever it is, or maybe I'll tune it up to a little Metallica. Grateful Dead, something like that. And I just hit the road, man. That's what I do. I really, really enjoy it. I love running outside as opposed to being on a treadmill. But when it does get cold in the Midwest, you got to be on a treadmill because I don't like sweating when it's cold outside. That's how you get sick. So, CG, I hope that answers your question for you, man. You're the best.
Hey, our next question here is from Cozen. He wants to know, is there anything you can do to prevent shin splints?
That's a good question, Cozen. When I was in junior high, I actually did track and field for just a short time. And I seemed to get them, right away when I started, running a lot. And that's a tough one. It could be anywhere from maybe getting a higher quality shoe to drinking more milk to taking more proteins. Maybe you're running on the balls of your feet too much. Maybe you're running flat-footed. Maybe you're running too long. So maybe shorten up the distance, shorten up the time. Maybe are you doing sprints? Are you doing long distance running? Are you running up bleachers? Are you running up hills? So there's a lot of variables that go with shin splints. I'm definitely not a track coach or a cross country coach, so that's about the best I can give you on that. So maybe mix it up a little bit. Maybe shorten your runs. Maybe do some sprints as opposed to long distance. Are you running on grass? Are you running on pavement? Are you running on a track, artificial turf, whatever it may be? So those are all things to be conscious about.
Hey Clay, our next Instagram question or questions are, what's the best way to get your mood going before a hard fight or workout? What gets you motivated? And what's your niche?
Those are good questions, man. And I think that's the age-old question for athletes. What helps get you motivated? What helps gets you ready to go on Sunday? When you're taking the field. Like Walter Payton, one of the guys I looked up to the most. Dick Butkus, two of my favorite players of all time. In football. And I want to know what makes those guys tick. I can't speak for them, but I can speak for myself when it comes fight night. There is nothing. I couldn't compare it to you, describe it to you guys if I had to. The only way I can describe it is take the best 5 or 10 concerts you've ever been to, whether they be heavy metal, whether they're a punk rock show, whether it's classic rock, whatever it is, combine those 5 or 10 concerts, put it on 4th of July and the best fireworks show you've ever seen, and turn the volume up to 1,000, and it still can't scratch the surface to the feelings that I get from walking down to that cage, from walking out of that tunnel, from entering that octagon and that door shutting and knowing it's just mano a mano, you and me, and we're gonna bang heads. It's so hard to put into words. I tell people, I'm the lead singer, I'm the lead guitarist, I'm the drummer, I'm the sound guy, I'm the light guy, and I'm the ticket sales guy. And everyone's there to see me perform, and that's what makes me tick. Knowing that all of you guys are out there supporting me, supporting the sport of mixed martial arts, the sport of wrestling, that is what makes me tick. That's what makes me happy. That's why I sacrifice everything for you guys to put on a show for you. So it's hard to say. People are motivated by different things. I'm motivated by my family. I'm motivated by my parents, my daughter, my brother, my sister, everyone that got me into the sport, everyone that supported me from day one. I'm motivated by my fans. There's no better feeling than knowing that people want to see you succeed, and on the same token, proving those wrong that maybe want to see you lose or want to see you not succeed as much as the rest. So there's two sides to that coin. I'm a competitor. I always have been since day one, and this is what I'm going to continue to do, is always try to put great fights on for you guys. So I hope that answered your question.
Hey Clay, our next question here comes from Griff Burns, and it's a fun one. He wants to know, how do you grow your gnarly lettuce?
I imagine he's either talking about my mullet or my chest hair. So that's a pretty awesome question. My old man had crazy hair. The power is derived from the hair. Samson. So the hair is here to stay. I guess just a lot of good conditioner, a lot of mane and tail, Pantene Pro V, Head and Shoulders, a lot of water, rinse and repeat. And for the chest hair, man, that's just that's my full-time sweater. And that's that's just something that you get from being a caveman. So great question, man.
Our last question here comes from Mark Smith. Mark wants to know, what's more efficient in the octagon, a high crotch or a double leg?
That's a great question. I've had success with both. I believe a high crotch is probably more efficient due to the safety of it, because once you do get your opponent, your teammate down on the mat, you negate the chances of a guillotine. So there's definitely that. You can lift a guy, you can bomb him with a high crotch or single leg, and then as far as a double leg, I mean, there's always going to be that chance if you shoot a double leg where they're going to just wrap up around your neck and then try to get an arm in or an arm out guillotine. So you have to be conscious of that. It also has to do with explosiveness, with if you lift the guy. Are you going to bomb him on his head? Are you going to take him down right away? Do you even have to lift him? Not necessarily. Yes, it looks good for the judges, a big lift and a big slam, but it doesn't always transfer over against a good jiu-jitsu guy or a guy who has good chokes. So a high crotch against the cage is always a safe bet. A double leg can be tricky, so you have to be aware of what people are going to these days. They're going to wrap their legs around you, or maybe a modified guillotine. So I hope that answers your question. And it looks like that's it for today. Guys, I can't thank you enough. Please keep tuning in to maxeffortmuscle.com. Check out the YouTube channel. And this is the Caveman signing out. Peace.